Hi everybody, this is Ernie, and this is my view. You would not disrespect the flag if you ever handed a folded one, or if you ever witnessed a body-draped casket being carried by real men and women who understand God, love, country, and patriotism. The death of the NFL is brought to you by Colin Kaepernick and a host of ungrateful millionaires who imagine they live in a country where they have no rights and no respect. Well, respect is earned, and disrespecting your country, your fellow human beings, your flag, and your citizens will not gain you any respect. When you kneel rather than stand for our country's national anthem and flag, you are spitting in the face of every American, every soldier, every sailor, Marine, Coast Guard, and patriot who shed his or her blood for their country and for the freedom that you enjoy now. Oh, sure, you have the right to do so. There's no doubt about that. But when you do, every drop of blood, every life lost, every sacrifice paid in your name is for nothing. These players are given everything from grade school through college just because they can catch a football, hit a baseball, or put a round ball through a round hole. They've been babied, coddled, on occasion been acquitted for crimes against other citizens. They have used performance-enhancing drugs and rarely go to jail and are rarely punished. In the case of football and baseball, they're allowed to do pretty much whatever they want because they have no fear of retribution by most coaches and by no means a worthless commissioner in football named Goodell. Some have beaten up girlfriends, wives, fans, and they go free or are minimally punished because of their athletic abilities. Some have even killed but escape because their status of super jocks. Real men don't get babied or coddled. They serve their country and their fellow men. They respect the flag without their name on the back of their shirts. They wear American flags on their shoulders. They wear flak vests, Kevlar helmets, and don't worry too much about fame and adoring fans. They worry about the man standing next to them or the woman standing next to them. They worry about the guy or the girl next to them being vaporized by a damn rocket, blown to pieces by a grenade, or riddled by machine gun fire. Some men and women worry about being shot in the face during a traffic stop or worry about a fiery roof collapsing on them while they are running into a burning house. Real men and women only worry about the other guy and the other girl and very seldom about themselves. How badly are they treated in a free country such as the USA? They don't worry about that. They just do their jobs. I believe in the First Amendment more than most, and I believe you have a right to your own opinion. But when it hurts your fellow man or woman, you are no longer exercising this amendment. You are now promoting yourself and your own thoughts. A real man or real woman never put themselves first. And who are these super jocks putting first? Well, it certainly isn't you and I, the people who will shell out hard-earned money to watch a kids' game played by men who sport gold chains, expensive cars, and egos the size of South America. We American sports fans go to a game for entertainment, and that's what it is. We really don't give a damn about your politics or your personal police blotter. We care about home runs, touchdowns, completed passes, and great tackles. And we do not appreciate your attempt to try out for America Can Dance when you get into the end zone or to hit a two-run home run. How about you act like you've been there, in the words of a very famous coach that was quoted a while back. How about all the greats, the Hall of Famers from sports, when they played for the love of the game and a fraction of what today's players and babies make? We fans have no problem with the millions you make. We are, however, really tired of hearing how rough and painful your lives are. It seems that the spoiled brats in professional sports are all in charge rather than the fans, the coaches, or the owners. Much of this anti-flag, anti-American crap is a result of political correctness, as you probably all know. This sickness is eating away at our country and dividing our people. Dividing men against women, whites against black, right against left, and so on and so forth, in almost every area of life. Not long ago, a man from nowhere stated that America was no longer a Christian nation, and that we were an arrogant people, and that the police were our enemy, that all cops were killers of black Americans. That man divided us in so many ways and is now held as a hero to some and is still trying to divide us and keep us full of hate. He's doing a pretty good job right now. Hate has become a national pastime, and that's really unfortunate. What happened to honor, morals, values, and just plain old understanding? We Americans began listening to the hate mongers, the anti-American slogans, the prejudice against our fellow man, and hatred for anything we disagree with. Where is and what happened to civility? the ability to listen and have a conversation where there's a disagreement. What happened to heroes? We have allowed them to be villainized by people who hate this country and hate this land. How about Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Rosa Parks, Tom Sowell, Ben Carson, John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart? I can give you a list of great American patriots right now and in the past. All real heroes who love and respect this country. Now we listen to losers and flim-flam men like George Soros, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, John McCain, Maxine Waters, Al Gore, and most of Hollywood, by the way, and the late-night TV shows or so-called comedians, like Jane Fonda, Robert De Niro, and, of course, most of the House and Senate. That's sad. And as you know, this kneeling has very little to do with rights or personal rights. It has to do with hatred for cops. Thank you, Mr. Obama and BLM, who in the majority of cases are doing their job. Cops always do their job. Think about it. If you take a run at a cop with a knife or a gun, or you're in the commission of a crime, just what the hell do you think a cop should do? You think he should just stand there and wait like they did in Berkeley? Another thing, why do we call ourselves African Americans, Italian Americans, and Irish Americans, when we're all called just real good old-fashioned Americans? That's what we should be called. How about saying we're Americans of African descent, Americans of Italian descent, or Americans of Irish descent? We should all be Americans first, and that includes all the millionaire jocks who have it so rough and lead such pitiful lives. Until we begin to discount all the hucksters in our country, we will be left with hate, mistrust, violence, and a third world mentality, which will lead to the destruction of the greatest experiment in freedom and democracy the world has ever known. We will be destroyed with this. And believe me, there are many who would like to see this great land fail and fall into oblivion just for selfish reasons and power. Those are the miscreants we need to dismiss and ignore, and we all know who they are. God bless the United States of America, and long may the stars and stripes wave. God bless America. God bless all of you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.